ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Put it down!
Off the gun! She's off the gun! Hey, shoot him! Christ!
For the second time this week, the San Diego Police Department released body camera video of an officer-involved shooting. This time, just 24 hours after the shooting that left an armed man dead in City Heights. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Police say they opened fire on the man after he bent down to grab that gun. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo walks us through the newly released body camera footage.
The officers responded to Menlo Avenue in City Heights after receiving reports that two women had been confronted by a man with a gun. The video you're about to watch is from the officers' body cameras. The video shows an officer running on the sidewalk. As he gets closer, you hear commands coming from other officers. The officer runs closer and draws his gun.
Don't touch it!
Commands continue for several minutes, and then you hear an officer say this, referring to the man's gun.
I see it.
Officers continue giving commands, and when the suspect reaches for the gun,
Christ!
officers fire more than 24 shots. Former SWAT commander and lethal force instructor Ray Shea says officers had no choice.
He made the decision to pick up the gun and point it at the officers. And any citizen that points a gun at a law enforcement officer will likely be shot.
Video from another officer's camera shows police rendering aid to the man on the ground. Officers later learned the weapon was an airsoft gun. This body cam video released just 24 hours after the shooting.
I'm glad to see that they are being a little bit more transparent.
Danny Avitia is a community activist.
This is a bad decision on the part of the person. But again, we need to shoot to disarm and not shoot to kill.
But Shea says that's just not what officers are trained to do.
Officers are taught to shoot until the threat stops.
Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Breaking news tonight, prison officials are looking into the death of an inmate at Donovan State Prison in Otay Mesa. In a tweet tonight, the California Office of the Inspector General says it was notified at 5 p.m. today that an inmate had died. No other information was given surrounding that inmate's death. The Inspector General's office says it has responded to the facility and will monitor the investigation.
The new school year is quickly approaching, and many teachers have serious concerns about returning. San Diego Unified School District says it has a detailed plan for its scheduled reopening on August 31st. The teachers union claims otherwise. It says the current plan lacks basic protections against the coronavirus, such as social distancing.
I'm hearing from educators of all ages who are very concerned about being put into an enclosed space, their classroom, with 25 to 35 children without the proper safety protocols in place.
The teachers union issued a counter proposal for reopening, which includes smaller class sizes, more ventilation, and more COVID testing. Here now are the latest numbers. The county reported 461 new cases today, bringing the total to 18,800. There were also another 5 deaths, bringing the total to 420.
It's like a miracle. I think, we really have a chance, and it could be better than ever.
North County restaurants are covering parking spaces with turf and tents, creating new spaces for dining. Our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is in Del Mar, where the popular Flower Hill Promenade is helping restaurants reinvent themselves during the pandemic.
Milton's in Del Mar has found a way to adapt, creating an outdoor dining experience using tables and chairs, turf and tents.
Looking forward to a new beginning from kind of like lemons into lemonade.
Owner Barry Robbins says this outdoor dining area went up recently after health orders forced restaurants to close indoor dining. In addition, they're creating this outdoor lounge area. They're still working on the finishing touches, but Robbins expects it to open in about 2 weeks. With their proximity to the racetrack, he hopes it will be a popular spot for horse racing fans who can no longer watch in person.
I want to do like a lounge and get a TV and show the races and have more of a nighttime, maybe music and a different kind of thing that we really had never done before.
And these outdoor areas used to be parking spaces. The idea to convert them into something else actually came from their landlord. Milton's is part of the Flower Hill Promenade. Fresh air dining is something Flower Hill is promoting and investing in. Cucina Enoteca, another Flower Hill restaurant, is also able to offer their customers the same outdoor amenities.
The shopping center has put the money up to do all of this and to create these areas for the tenant. We're a family here, so we want to help our tenants thrive and survive.
It means sleeping at night. I was so scared. I think, we really have a chance, and it could be better than ever.
In Del Mar, Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
Moving forward in the new normal. All right, a shark activity is keeping people out of the water at Breakers Beach on Naval Air Station North Island. The base posted a notice tonight on social media. They say the closure is in effect until further notice for all water activities, including swimming and surfing.
The races are once again up and running at Del Mar, but the jockeys aren't the only ones missing the fans in the stands. The Thoroughbred Club says it has a $300 million impact on the region in a typical season. The club itself stands to lose $17 million in things such as lost ticket sales and concessions.
It's more than just a money-making venture for us, because probably this year we won't make any money.
Businesses in the areas surrounding the fairgrounds are also losing thousands of potential customers every day. And racing at Del Mar will happen every Friday through Sunday through early September, with the last race of the season on Labor Day. More breaking news tonight as Hall of Fame jockey Victor Espinoza tests positive for COVID-19. According to the LA Times, Espinoza is the third high-profile jockey to test positive in the last few days. As a precaution, he was taken off his mounts today. Espinoza will not be allowed to ride for at least 2 weeks.
And people really enjoy coming out. They get a little bit of their fair food fix in a year where we unfortunately lost the fair.
The Del Mar horse races may have taken a hit, but fair food vendors are still trying to stay afloat right now. The kettle corn stand reopened at the Del Mar Fairgrounds in April as a drive-through business. Owner Oliver Feldhausen says that he saw an uptick in customers today who were looking to try to get into opening day. The stand had to deliver the bad news that the races, of course, were closed to fans, but was able to offer some kettle corn to try and make up for it. The kettle corn stand is set up in the green lot at the fairgrounds. It is open every Friday and Saturday from noon to 8 and Sunday noon to 6.
Morgues are sounding the alarm. They are running out of places to store bodies as more people die from COVID-19. To date, more than 133,000 Americans have lost their lives. There were 66,000 new cases reported across the country in just the past day. And today, President Trump reiterated his belief that the U.S. is doing well in terms of the percentage of deaths caused by the virus. But one of the doctors on his COVID-19 task force reminds us more cases means more deaths.
We have not seen this result in increased mortality, but that is expected as the disease continues to spread in some of our large metro areas.
Meantime, Atlanta's mayor is now calling for her city to go back to phase 1. Georgia saw the biggest single-day increase in cases today.
And the pandemic is taking a drastic toll on child care here in the U.S. As working parents, they are now grappling with returning to the office. Many are also finding their child care centers closed. ABC's Karen Travers reports the industry itself could be on the brink of collapse.
So I am here at my daughter's daycare, and that's it. You know, they're closing.
Diana Lamangi says she is heartbroken. She couldn't hold back her emotion as she packed up her 3-year-old daughter's things from her now closed childcare center.
It's a beautiful space, and both my kids went here, so I'm really, really sad.
Lamangi and many working parents are learning firsthand a tough reality. The coronavirus pandemic is pushing the nation's childcare industry to the brink of collapse.
Childcare is a top concern for millions of working parents. If you have to go back to the office and your childcare center is closed, what do? Experts say this is a key piece of the puzzle to fully reopening the U.S. economy.
Nationwide, nearly half of childcare providers completely closed their facilities during the COVID-19 shutdowns, according to research cited by childcare experts. Of those that stayed open, 85% are operating with less than half of their usual child enrollment. The outlook for the industry is grim. One study found that roughly half of U.S. childcare capacity is at risk of disappearing.
Childcare is in a crisis moment right now.
Circle Time is a childcare center in Kensington, Maryland. It's stayed open during the COVID-19 shutdowns because it serves essential workers. But their numbers went from a full enrollment of 78 children to, at one point, just 9.
We sent out an email just asking parents to pay what they could in order to hold their spots if they weren't coming in.
Child care centers are expensive to operate. Now throw in the additional costs of the new normal in the coronavirus pandemic: PPE, sanitizer, deep cleanings. The $2 trillion CARES Act, a federal COVID-19 relief package, included nearly $60 billion for the airline industry. But just $3.5 billion was set aside for child care providers. Democratic Senator Patty Murray introduced legislation to put $50 billion in federal funding toward this critical industry.
I'm just saying to my fellow colleagues, just ask any friend you have with kids what is their biggest issue right now, and this is it.
I asked Gigi Serrano, how long can Circle Time hang on without full enrollment and more government help?
We'll probably be good until about September. But beyond that, it's really just going to depend. It's a long time to ask families to contribute when there's really no actual end date.
Karen Travers, ABC News, Kensington, Maryland.